So how was your day today, Julia?
Awesome, fantastic. Another
Nice.
work day. Yeah, work, squeezing a bike ride before this, hence
Oh,
this
that's good.
helmet hair.
Yes, well, the weather's really good for us, so yeah, that's awesome. You got out for a ride. That's nice.
Yeah, no, it was a good day.
Cool. All right, so we should get started here with our questions. So,
I feel like
Julia,
we're all in the same room here together because we all have this just blank wall background here.
yes, yep,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I wanted to try something a bit different, so then we can all see each other as we're chatting. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Everybody else can turn on their cameras too.
yes, yeah, totally, yeah. Nice. Nice. So, okay, so Julia, first question. How long have you been biking for?
Oh gosh. Since I guess the first time I got on a bike was in 2007. It was happened to be actually a complete fluke. So I don't know if many of you are familiar with Calgary Corporate Challenge here, and I guess it would be more kind of the oil and gas, a lot of involvement in it, but a lot of companies get involved and compete in different sports. And our company was involved in it, and I just joined the company I was working at well, still I'm working at, and they needed a female for the mountain bike race, and they're like, "Oh, Julia's fit. She can do it." And I was like, I don't even own a bike, guys. I can't even remember the last time I was on a bike."
Yep.
And so sure enough, I like took a transit bus super early in the morning to COP where the race was happening, and literally jumped on some guy's girlfriend's bike. And I just remember which side is the left or back brake, which side's the front brake, and off I went, and like instant love. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That following year is when I actually bought my first $200 Norco that started my bike obsession. Yeah.
Nice. So your first bike was a Norco.
Yeah. New Wolverine, 200
Nice.
bucks.
Was it a hardtail or was it a dual suspension?
Yeah, it was hardtail. It had disc brakes. That's what we thought was cool back then. So it's like, yes.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool. All right. And what is your favorite trail? If you had to pick just one.
Definitely Race of Spades, kind of a classic. Has like good fun memories on that trail. So I think it's going to be always hands down Race of Spades.
Nice. That's a nice local favorite.
And up, I like the up too. So I do like Numa up to get to Race of Spades.
Nice. It's like one of the most technical climbing trails I've ever done for sure. It's good.
And then, quite honestly, when it turns on to Race of Spades is when the fun of Numa kind of ends. So it's kind of a good turn.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, next question here. Where's your favorite place to ride?
I think we're lucky here in Calgary and I guess the surrounding communities that we got brag in our backyard. I do like Moose Mountain, Bright Creek. I do ride there too many days of the week, so I do love it. I do, though, enjoy getting out of the city quite often. So Golden, riding around there is pretty awesome. Fernie, love riding around there. And if you can do further trips to like Rosslyn or Revy is pretty awesome. Yeah. A lot of Oregon trips too.
So it's hard to pick just one.
Anywhere where I'm riding my bike, I'm happy.
Fair enough. Okay, and what was your favorite trail in Carcross? So when you went to Carcross in the Yukon.
That was one of the best trips ever. I highly recommend everybody go there. I don't know what kind of urged me to go, but well, I think you can. Actually, I do know. We drove through there years back, and I knew I had to come back there. But in Carcross, like you guys saw, I don't know if you tuned into the video last week, Shift, but Montana Mountain is where the trails are at in Carcross. Whitehorse has a bunch of trail networks in and around. The picture that you saw is actually more in Whitehorse on a trail called Blown Away, which literally that trail was, we started and did like a 31, like 2 whatever K descent that day. It was pretty,
wow.
it was a long day.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely in Carcross, Montana Mountain. All the trails have like names of like lynx or bear or goat and those kind of things, they're all fun. We shuttled several, like I'd say maybe 2 or 3 laps with the skills clinic. So we did pretty much every blue and black trail in that network, and you won't be bored. Like you can session all day long in there. It's so much fun.
Nice.
A lot of steep, a lot of wood features, a lot of skinnies, which sometimes not see so much, and a lot of like natural features, a lot of jumps. Like in that video, they talked about like the kids that built the trails. So they started biking the trails themselves. So kind of finding what people want in a trail network. And so there's a lot of fun stuff. Like they've built everything in the mountain, has turned it into like a trail feature. Like they haven't like put the trail on the side of like a rock cliff. They incorporated it into the trail.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to go.
Definitely go there. And then like the whole community is awesome. So yeah.
Oh yeah, just the whole cultural experience too. Yeah.
Go to the lodge. Go to Boreal Lodge. You'll never.
Lodge, okay.
The food, unreal. You'll never like. That's the food you dream about.
Nice. Okay. How did you get involved in mountain bike racing?
I don't know if Alex Costello is on the phone, but a big shout out to her. She and I met on a ride with Spin Sisters years back now. God, yes, I would have been like 4 or 5 years ago maybe now. And we rode a lot. She was on the race team at the time, and just kind of got encouraged by her and pushed by her to try it out. I was actually terrified. That year I decided, I think it was the Mountain Maiden, either that or Rendell's Revenge, to do a race with her, and I was so shy. I was like, I'm not going to say that I'm a Spin Sister. I'm going to hide over here. But then I wore my Spin Sister socks, so then everybody's like, come on! But yeah, and so I was super shy to join the teams. I thought these were like people that I could not measure up to, and they're probably like rocket fast and crazy. So I was really intimidated. And but then yeah, the following year I joined. Gloria was the race director at the time, and it was a lot of fun. It's an awesome group of girls, and we're all good friends. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Gloria was an awesome race team director. Now we have Susan, which she's amazing too. So we're very lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you're right. It's just a great group of people.
Yeah.
Okay. What has been your favorite race?
I've experimented over the years. So more recently getting into enjoying those long distance type races. So Salty Dog, which we should have done last Sunday on Mother's Day, that was canceled this year due to COVID. Boom. That's one of my favorite races, and I think that one less more about like the actual course, more to do with like the whole vibe that weekend. It like starting out with like a street festival, like 101 Spin Sisters go. Susan brings the tent, and well, Cindy too helps set that up, and it's just like a awesome atmosphere. And when you cycle through, you know, part of your team is going to be there, so it's just a lot of fun. The whole event, the whole weekend. And then if you stay longer to ride, the trails are awesome. But in terms of a similar race, so like a 6-hour, the other one I like is Giver Sixer. That one just is a fun technical course. Same format, same style, but definitely harder to get more laps in just because of the technical and the climbing. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I do like those races. And then hopefully if this year opens up, maybe do some stage racing. So a couple days.
Nice. Which one are you gonna do?
Single track 6. They're announcing on June 12th, my birthday. So hopefully I get my birthday if it's a go ahead or not. So hopefully in the fall it's a go, and that'll be like September 9-ish around there. Yeah. Awesome. Rosalind, Bernie, and Kimberly. So it'd be an awesome course. Yeah.
Are you gonna do the whole 6 days?
I originally signed up for the 3 because it was supposed to be early June, and I should be right now just hiking in Spain with my sister and my mom. So I was my bike fitness was gonna deteriorate perhaps. So it only was gonna do 3 days, but if it moves to September, thinking 6. Yeah. It's all that.
Yeah.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. That's what I want for my birthday.
Yeah, that's such a great race.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. You did that one last year.
All right, yeah, in 2018, and right after then, I said I would never do another one, but I would. I can say
That's
now.
already been 2 years. Holy shit. Okay. Never mind. I thought that was last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's
And
gonna
then hopefully BC Bike Race in the future when I become rich or some bike shop that likes to sponsor some mediocre bike racer girl.
I would have to like win an entry or same thing. So if somebody wanted to sponsor me to go.
Yeah, there's a race this week or a contest this weekend that Liz posted about winning your spot. So if I'm not wanting to ride outside, I might stick to the trainer this week to win the spot or try. Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. All right. How do you approach your own training and riding?
So this is where I don't want to sound like an imposter too much, because this is an area that I definitely need to improve and am learning. I think what I've learned, so I've been on the race team 2 or 3, this would be my 3rd season, 3rd, 4th, I don't know, I lost track. But I guess what I've learned in the last couple seasons of racing is that although I'm motivated to ride a lot, I don't actually ride to train. So my races have become, I guess in a sense, plateau. So I don't necessarily improve towards the end of the season. I'm actually probably fatiguing. And then, even though I'm still riding as much, and then my races are unpredictable. So I have no clue how I'm going to perform when I go into race because I haven't prepared or planned to actually achieve something. Like as an example, this year I did that fat bike race in Canmore, and leading up to it, I had never biked for 6 hours on a fat bike. I had no idea what I would want to eat or drink during the winter ride, and I had no idea if I could bike more than 20K on a fat bike. And then I took my husband's fat bike, which was a bigger bike than mine, just because it was carbon, and that was maybe not the smartest move to put myself on a brand new bike right before the race. But yeah, so I had actually no, like I couldn't actually put a real goal for the race because I had nothing to gauge myself on or something that I was striving for. I was like, I hope I can do this, which isn't really a motivating kind of goal or reaching or interesting. So yeah, this year I've been trying to focus a little bit more on, I guess you can't do everything at once, so kind of nutrition, but more so that recovery side of things. I tend to take a beer or a cider after a ride or a training ride or a race, so I'm not actually refueling my body after a big training ride. So trying to focus on that a little bit. I think I eat healthy and well, so I think I'm fueling it prep-wise. I'm there somewhat, but it's that after ensuring that I'm ready for that next training. And then the other side of it, which I'm
after my rides as well. But yeah, training for single track 6 because I was biking so much. I was like, I can't drink this. I can't drink after every ride. I was like biking every day. I'm like, this is like not.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. Yeah. And so then the other thing too that I'm horrible at, which I'm trying to put some focus on, still not getting there quite yet, is recovery, so rest days, building those in. So I actually reap some benefits from all this riding and stretching and things like that. So experimenting with like some yoga now, rollers. Actually, if anybody can do a rolling class, that'd be great. Julie's yoga class was fantastic. I felt fantastic for that ride after that. My hips felt good. And things like that. So trying to experiment more. Susan's been a phenomenal race director in that sense. This year she kicked off the season with helping us develop training plans. Although like the detail of that has been kind of thrown out the window with COVID and all your like races being canceled and whatnot. It kind of gives you at least that structure or something to plan for, because I'm not one to, I guess, read into that stuff myself too much. So it was good to have somebody kind of walk you through that. So yeah, this year definitely it's recovery and experimenting with different things as I do that. So I've bought into some products or doing some of my own things and seeing what works to make me feel good for the next day and what I feel strong with. And yeah, trying to schedule that stretching. I'm not so good, but I love these videos. They're so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you saw or listened to the Monday talk about like where your motivation sits. Mine's that far left. I need to like scale it back to that top like left-hand corner of I'm in love with it kind of thing.
Yeah, Megan's talk was like that's her area of expertise, right? So I'm super excited for her next two videos as well. Yeah, she did an excellent job on that one.
Yeah, I'm totally listening into the goal setting one. That's where I need to improve. I guess as part of this whole process is like if you train for something and you have goals, then you can start developing goals to kind of work towards, right? So
definitely. And that is my next question. How do you approach goal setting and what goals do you have for the season?
Well, I guess I kind of touched on that a little bit with like my goals being kind of more exploring recovery and a bit of nutrition there. Yeah, learning to take days off right now, but I guess the other side of things too with COVID is also doing a little bit more skill development. If you're stuck with the same trails, I've been riding Beaumont a little bit differently lately to spice it up a bit. So working on some wheelies or manuals. I just bought flats maybe 3 days ago, no, not that long ago, in the oddest experience ever at Bow Cycle with 10 like boxes of shoes on the sidewalk while I couldn't go in the store. It was insane, but I got a pair, so that's good. So learning how to now like jump and be playful riding with those just because my feet are flying off the pedals. So yeah, experimenting. I was hoping this year actually to experiment a bit too with enduro riding to help with my descending skills. I tend to ride more cross country, love climbing, love distance. Still love technical with all of that cross country riding, but wanting to improve a bit on my steeper terrain. But yeah. Oh, I guess, and sorry, I have notes here on the side that making sure I don't forget something. But yeah, I guess with that whole goal setting, and it's something I need to get over myself is that sometimes I worry that if I set goals and then start training, I might lose the love side of things. So yeah, trying to experiment in setting those goals and pushing for something and still keeping that passion for the riding.
Yeah, I struggle with that too because I've actually never had a coach because I'm like you, like I just ride, but I definitely probably have plateaued like you were saying, but I don't want to lose that love of the riding, so just don't want to get serious with it.
Yeah, and I am not going to be some kind of pro Olympian or something, so it is more setting those goals that are going to kind of push me and make me a better rider because I'm not looking to be the fastest rider in the world or Calgary or whatnot. It's I find with every race you learn something different about yourself. Turns out I do have conflict. What is it? A fear of conflict, and I just press that through my mountain biking because if I see someone I'm competing with, then I get the fear of having to pass them kind of thing. It's just like that's a moment of conflict. So like you actually learn a lot from racing and pushing yourself. Yeah, there's a lot to gain from mountain bike racing.
Really, a few questions came in for the group chat. Did you? So yeah, when you're riding the Beaumont, did you see any of the guys building the trails?
Yes. I see the aftermath. I don't know if we're talking about the east end because there was like trails built and then taken down. I don't know if those ones were supposed to be built, but yeah, and then there's a lot of new chutes that are being built. Yeah. That people are exploring, but the place is packed right now. I swear to God, every kid in the Northwest, at least, is at Beaumont right now at that bike park.
Oh yeah, like I saw a video. I don't know if any of you guys saw that of the flannel crew. I don't know if you follow the flannel crew.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were doing all the gnarly shoots.
That's awesome.
So yeah, some of them were pretty hardcore. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, Beaumont never had that badass kind of like reputation, and now it's turning into a badass little spot.
Another question here: what pedals and shoes did you end up getting?
So yeah, that was a funny experience. So, well, the pedals my husband actually bought me as a stocking stuffer for Christmas. The race face Chesters. That was actually meant to be for my fat bike. So if you ride 45 North boots, do not buy those pedals. They're not compatible. You'll slide and slip, and you'll hate fat biking. So I had those pedals I took them off my fat bike pretty much right away, and put them on my Bronson, and then ended up getting the 510 free riders, which is funny because I like literally when I got into the lineup at Bow Cycle, and I was standing in my like 2 meter separation box, and like then I found out like we're not allowed in the store. So then I was like, well, so I called them. I'm like, well, if I want to buy shoes, can I still try them on? And they're like, yeah, stay in line. So it finally became my turn, and I was like scanning quickly through their website of like, these I like, that color, this one, how about these? And so like the guy was like, let me write this all down, and he's just taking everything down and comes out and he's like, meet me out front, and sitting on a plant box, trying on these shoes, and none of them, well, most of them weren't even available. And so he just started bringing out like a whole bunch of shoes, like try these, and yeah, and they ended up being comfiest. Yeah, and they're cute.
Okay. Okay. How did you get involved with the Learn to Race program?
So yeah, I think one of the things I've been with the bike, like the Spin Sisters Bike Club for I think like 2012 or 13 or so quite a long time. But I tended to be early on just kind of supplement some of my rides with the Spin Sisters, and kind of like left and never really engaged with the club early on. But I liked what they were doing, and started to meet a lot of friends through the rides, and so wanted to get more engaged with the club, and thought volunteering would be the best approach. So back when Anna was the Learn to Race director, I signed up to volunteer to support them. I was just actually experimenting with racing then, so I wasn't necessarily a coach. I was more kind of an extra body to help with certain things that they need help with. But yeah, I just fell in love with the program then, and was quite engaged with it. And when Anna was leaving the position, asked if I wanted to help take over, and I was eager to take that on. But yeah, even from just volunteering with it, some of the people I still ride with today, from like Alan, for instance, kind of thing, and from the club that did that program. So you meet a lot of people with it. It's a fun, close-knit group. You kind of meet a subset of the club and get to know them a bit better through the program. And the coaches are awesome.
Okay, how has the Business to Learn to Race program evolved over the years?
Yeah, so when I first started with it, I guess we're trying to evolve actually the Learn to Race program, because when I started with it, it was highly focused on the cross country type discipline. ABA racing was quite big in Alberta, and the interest in that style of racing is actually starting to evolve and change. Some of those races aren't even happening. I don't even, well, this year, of course not, but like I know Maiden wasn't going to go ahead this year. I think some of the other ones perhaps as well. And so yeah, this year we've revamped the 2020 program. So we were excited to launch it. We'll see how things go. But we're starting to evolve to incorporate other disciplines as well. Enduro, I think, being the most popular amongst the race team right now. And the race team is, a lot of the race team and some of our coaches, like PMBI trained coaches in the club, are the coaches for the Learn to Race program. So it's good to have kind of a variety of I guess disciplines and different coaches from different areas to help with that program. Like it was so silly last year, like we kick off the program We started the day one indoors in a cycling studio, actually at Peloton with the wonderful Martine. And yeah, last year we were doing the panel and everybody's like getting all like, excited because the end of the program, they're going to do this ABA race, Mountain Maiden, and the panel's like, yeah, we hate that style. No, hate redlining. No, that kind of, it stops. That kind of race stops. And everybody was like downhill, like, bravo, enduro. And then marathon races and stage races were popular, but nobody was really kind of vying for that XC style racing. So it was kind of funny that we kind of ended that session and they were so confused, like, what are we training for? So yeah, recognizing last year that the style and format of races is evolving and more women are becoming interested in that enduro style. So integrating that.
There's not a lot of I'm going to say less intimidating or inviting enduro style races for women early season either.
Yeah, no.
There's like, well, yeah, like there's like the Live Enduro in Vernon. I think that was going to be in June.
Oh yeah, that would have been actually a good spot for one.
And then there's like the Revy Enduro, but that's always in September. So maybe the Spin Sisters needs to start an enduro. I can cruise.
Yeah, yes. Replace the Mountain Maiden with an enduro event. Maybe it could be at Beaumont with all the chutes. Right into the river and go tubing.
Yeah. How are you approaching the management of the Learn to Race program this season? So we kind of went over that a little bit. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Learn to race. Yeah, no, I think the big change this year that we're going to roll out, I think that it's difficult to say what's going to happen if it's going to actually proceed this year. So I know that there has been some interest. There was Vicky and Mary Jane had sent interest and exciting still that we're going to have the program. This tonight would have actually been week 2 of the program. We'd be actually at Beaumont doing some practicing some drills on passing and those opportunities, because the Learn to Race program, I should point out too, for those that aren't familiar with it, it is more of a race skills program. It's not a Learn to Mountain Bike program. So if you do join in, we're not going to be talking about skill development in that sense. We do encourage it, and we have different skills camps that we offer through Spin Sisters to take to improve those areas, but it is about race strategy. So we do have a lot of the race team that supports the program as the coaches, so they have infinite amount of knowledge and experience that they share, and different strategies for different races. So me being even new to enduro, definitely need to lean on the team to help with coaching those sessions. I watched a lot of enduro videos, which was great as well. And even like talking to you last year, it's like after like being conditioned to XC race so much, even those like flat moments where you're like resting your legs, it's like that is when you give her in an enduro race and you don't lose that time, because that's when you're still being on the clock. So it's a totally different kind of strategy, and so incorporating a bit of that into the program. I wouldn't have even thought of that, right? So
yeah, totally. Do you have anyone who is interested in this in cyclocross? Like, I know that was very popular a few years ago, but I don't know if it is anymore, really. Like, it's pretty big in Calgary still, I think, in the fall.
I go to Oregon a lot, and that is almost taken over down there, I find, on the trails, but not something I've explored. I have a cyclocross bike, but it's used for commuting.
Yeah, totally.
Getting dusty and old now.
Yeah, like back in 2013, I did like 3 events on my mountain bike, and they're really fun, but it's very, it's very full on. It's like cross country racing, even more so.
Like if you love your heart rate being in the red zone for at least 45 minutes straight, that's your race.
Yeah, but I loved the Dark Knight, or No, it's COP. Yeah, the Dark Knight. Yeah. It's such an awesome race. They do they have like a disco ball going in the forest.
That's awesome.
And, like they had like the limbo bar one year, and yeah, that year as well, they had like a tequila shortcut. They had like this bus set up where you like, I don't know if any of you guys were there, but essentially a contestant would pull up to the back of the bus. Somebody would take their bike and they jump on the bus, take the tequila shot, and then exit out the passenger side, and then they jump on their bike again. And so like the top three people probably did like 7 tequila shots. And this first
No way.
like they looked fine when they crossed the finish line. The third guy looked like he was gonna fucking throw up everywhere. Excuse my language, sorry. Anyway, it was hilarious.
Yeah, no, Liz is, he does, she. Did I say he? I think I said he because I see the name Joe like pop up and I'm like, he, why is there a he? But that could be a female name. But yeah, she's experimented and enjoys that kind of racing. Same with Gloria in the past too. So we have that experience in the club too. So when people are interested, I think gravel racing is picking up as well. So we had a few participants actually joined the program because they're into the gravel side of things. So something I haven't tried, but.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think a couple years. I know one year like Gloria did like, I'm gonna say like 15 races or something. Cyclocross.
Hardcore.
It's super impressive. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah. If you need to learn to train right, talk to Gloria. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so how can Spin Sisters get involved with the Learn to Race program?
Well, there's obviously a couple ways to either the Learn to Race at spinsisters.ca email. We also have through the volunteers email as well if you're interested in participating as a volunteer or interested. I also did a shout out earlier this year for a social media support. So we have filled that position. I'm not sure what that's going to look like this year now, but as others, I guess the 2 years that I've already been the director for, people who've joined it know that I am incompetent at successfully communicating through social media platforms. It was so horrible of how delayed or the hiccups I had. The coaches were on Facebook, none of the participants. It was just like chaos. So yeah, just with like running the program and getting everything going, and then plus work and trying to ride as much as you want to, having support with people that are naturally talented in that area is going to be awesome. And then also sharing too to the club what we're up to each week, because they're doing some pretty rad things and they're having a lot of fun in the group. So good to share that with the other our club members. But yeah, either email through those different channels to get involved. Obviously, if you're an experienced racer, you can support with coaching some of the lessons that we have. We do have detailed lesson plans, so you don't have to figure it all out. Those are provided to coaches in advance so that we have a curriculum. So if you're interested, and then we do need volunteers as well. So the coaches have a support with them for some of the drills. And then one of the days we do a mock race. So course setup and takedown and marshalling and cheering them on, cowbells and all. We do treat it as kind of a fun race. So a lot of people need it that day as well.
Yeah, I remember the first time I volunteered for Learn to Race, I did the timing for the mock race. Like that was what you needed help with. So yeah, back in the day.
I know the program's really awesome because it does go through all the different phases of a race. Yeah, in terms of like timing, we even have like number plates to put on our bikes, and like even those, like there's techniques and strategies that people like, because if you zip tie it on wrong and suddenly you're trying to turn left and your cable's restricted, like those are little things that it's just fun to kind of go through and learn by going through the program, so that you're ready for that race day when you get this package of like crap that you have to figure out what to do with, kind of thing. So. And my nieces might be on the call, and I promised I wouldn't swear, and I just did. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Hallie.
What advice can you give to new mountain bikers and to new mountain bike racers?
So I guess for new mountain bikers is just to go ride. I know that there's a lot of like people out there, pressure and all these different gadgets and tools and whatnot, but I just say get out there and ride. I don't know if I was just naive or what when I first started riding. I just fell in love with the sport, and I didn't actually understand any of the techie side bits of it, and my $200 Norco, I swear to God, was as good as that 10 grand Specialized that somebody else was riding. It was the bomb. And just ride. Like, I became obsessed. And then once I graduated from that bike, I knew it was ready. And the minute I got onto my next bike, I was actually floored about the change and how much better it can be. But again, from riding and experience, you gain that as you go. If you don't go out there and try it, you're not going to learn from that experience. And ride with the club. There's so many cool ladies in the club. And yeah, we have a pretty rad group. So yeah, I'd say ride. And then if you do want to develop skills and keep pushing yourself, that's something you want to do. I do recommend courses. I do always sign up for a course every year. I do that with skiing as well. It's something I like to, I always just take away one thing. And if it's just one thing that just totally improves my riding, like that just made my whole, like, that like cost of like the program that was worth it because of that. Yeah, like even just that last camp I did in Yukon, so that was a skills camp, 3-4 days. Yeah, and just like there's so much steep and techy terrain there, and it was just to look forward. Like the coach saw it in my eyes as I was going like over a thing that I was looking under my feet, and she just told me look up at that moment, and boom, it was like not even second guessing. And that changed my riding that whole weekend of like looking ahead of the tech feature. Yeah, once you're there, just ride it. Yeah, so there's always something to take away from those. From new mountain bike racers to try different like disciplines. I thought mountain bike racing was ABA when I first started. And I quite honestly, I didn't really care for it. It stressed me out. Like I didn't want to eat before the race. I was like high stress at that moment that it was happening. My heart was racing during the race, and not because of like the actual like physical effort. It was more like, holy fuck, what am I doing? And I swore again. And yeah, it was just not something that I actually was motivated by, and I was terrified actually of doing longer distance racing as well. I remember actually seeing one of those stage races happening in Brad Creek that asked me during a course, and I'm like, oh my God, these people are like another world. Like, who are they? Where did they come from? And but yeah, then I don't know where it came from to do the Salty Dog. Probably someone from the club of like, it's so much fun, come. And it was instant love. I was like, I love riding nonstop. A race that just nonstop rides is perfect. Like, it's so focused, and I can just like keep going. So I love it. Yeah. So quite honestly, if we didn't try different displays, if I gave up after ABA racing, just because that's what I thought it would be, who knows? Maybe enduro racing is just going to suddenly, I'm going to just be a rad downhiller just because that's going to just be the thing. So I dream. But yeah, and then due to set, I guess your own personal goals. I think even she touched on that on Monday, Megan did, about kind of your own goals and not taking somebody else's. I found that I learned a little bit of a taste of that last year of, I guess that was 2 years ago, where I set my own goal for the race. And during the race, I was looking to be in a good position, and somebody during the race I was encouraging kind of made me change my goal during the race and or see it differently after the race, and made me disappointed. And that wasn't what I was there for. It wasn't my original goal. So going back to always setting kind of your own goals of what you're working towards and what you thought about, and meeting that, and not trying to take somebody else's, because it might disappoint you. It may not be something that's meant for you. And then each race to take away something, like I kind of talked about already, about learning that I actually can have conflict issues, which, yeah, it was so funny that I just like hovered behind somebody that's my competitor because I was terrified to race like past them. And I was like, when is there going to be a spot where they're going to like duck away for water without noticing that I'm right there? And I'll quickly, like, those stupid thoughts that go through your head. So like being able to process that and gain experience from that, and like then reflect back and like, that was so stupid, like so stupid. Like, who knows, maybe you would have motivated her to like pass you, or she might have been bonking, and that's another thing that I never knew about is actually bonking. And so I could have pushed it, and that could have been like her like, okay, power to you kind of moment. So you never know until you actually try or pass that fear or experiment a bit. So yeah,
Yep.
something like from every race. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure. I think probably everybody is. Just everyone. Most people have probably bonked or been close to it in a race, especially the longer ones. This is speaking from personal experience.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like that's where fuel is so important too. And like you'll gain that as you ride a lot. Like one of the Give or Sixter, I didn't have anybody to support that race. And so one of my tactics was like, I'm not going to get water or food. Like I'm just going to keep going. And so I was only grabbing a water bottle every second lap. And by the third or fourth lap, I like every creek, because my water bottle was empty. I was just like, I just want to lick that water. I just want to jump off my bike and just roll in that stream of water. Like I was just like becoming crazy because of cataplexy I suddenly got because I just drank my water. So like you learn that from like different things. Like that's going to lead to bonking. So yeah, and Ramona is on the race team as well. And in talking to her after the race about like my like obsession with like streams and running water that was going through my mind, she was just like, you probably crashed, like in a sense bonked and didn't perform as well because you depleted your body early on in a race when you still were only halfway through. So yeah.
I remember doing the organ grinder. That was a long time ago, but anyway, I didn't have any electrolytes in my water, and I was in like second place, and I dropped to fourth just because I was just bonking. And then I remember eating a whole one of the big bags of Doritos on the way home to Calgary because I was so deficient in salt.
Yeah. So again, like just get out there and try different disciplines and different races and learn as you go. Like you're not going to be ready to go probably for the first race that you ever try, but you're going to learn something from that and gain something to take to the next race. But yeah, I'm learning as I go and evolving. Yeah. And as I do different disciplines too, like stage racing, I have no idea. I'm like the weird thing that keeps coming to my mind is how am I going to wash the 2 racing jerseys that I have in between the races.
This is what I did. I didn't wear my race team jersey every day. Like I had like 6 jerseys and 6 shorts because I was like, I don't want to bother doing laundry. So even if you can borrow stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what
but I do love my race team kit, and like the chamois is like perfection for a race. So I'm just like, how do I replicate you? Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. You're gonna love the single track 6.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. And like the minute they announced the locations, I'm like sold. Like those are some pretty awesome places to ride. So again, that's like a vacation, a 6-day race in those awesome spots. In my mind, is a vacation. Yeah.
Hey, is there anything that you'd like to add or to end with?
Actually, a shout out to anybody who either's on there now or listening to later. Now with getting more involved in the stage racing, I know that we're like a club of 500. I'm now wondering what bike should be the best. And now with this year COVID, demos are not happening. Boo. And so I was looking to demo the Yeti SB100. You know, a bunch of girls in the club have that bike. So if you don't know what to ask or want to say something, feel free to comment on the climbing ability or long distance or the descending of that bike.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then if anybody's good at rollers and knows how to do it, I was actually looking into courses this year of just like, I learned better from like somebody showing me kind of thing. And then I'll remember it kind of thing. So I was looking into courses on roller things, that roller, I don't know if that's even what it's called, but that foam roller thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so if anybody's got skills in that, maybe that could be the next video post.
Yeah. Nice. And one last question here that I didn't catch until now. Do you use chamois cream or no chamois cream when you ride?
No chamois cream and no chamois, only during races.
No
Yeah.
chamois cream and no chamois. You only wear chamois during races.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just because that's when I'm wearing my full kit. But otherwise, riding, I don't wear one. Sometimes once in a while I do, and then once I'm like partway through, I'm like, why did I do this? But yeah, no, I prefer. Actually, somebody posted, I think it might have been Tracy, that she was looking for a new saddle. And I have the WTB Silverado Pro, and it fits like perfect for my thumb. Yeah, nothing.
Fair enough. Well, it was an awesome chat. Thank you so much, Julia, for taking the time to do this.
No, it's awesome.
And I hope you have an awesome season. And we'll look forward to hearing if the Learn to Race program is a go.
Yeah, definitely.
Given COVID-19.
Yeah, and check out Susan's chat last week too, if you hadn't had a chance with the race program as well. So if that's something you're interested in, she's a pretty rad coach. I guess I can't use coach. Director. She's the director.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Julia. I hope you have an awesome night. Yeah, I'm love to get it for a ride soon.
Ciao. See you later, everybody.
See you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Well.